Wednesday. Ooh, I'm still reeling over what Kate told me yesterday. I could never have guessed that she was getting in trouble from bullies. Who could be mean to Kate Marsh, of all people? It makes me furious to think about and kind of lousy at the same time. I'm supposed to be her friend, and I had no idea this was going on. I should have said something, asked her out for tea, sent her a text at least. Some friend you are, Max. This is the worst. But there's no use worrying about what I didn't do. It's not like I can rewind time and fix it. Heyo! The important thing is being here for Kate in the present, in whatever way she needs. The bus reaches its destination, jerking me out of my thoughts. I have to stop by the boardwalk today. There's a lot of neat little shops down here. Handmade souvenirs, antique stores, gift shops. There's even a place that sells camera gear for tourists looking to preserve memories of our sleepy little beach town. This shop also sells hella cheap Polaroid film, which I need to take the photo contest. The contest photo is what I meant. I asked Kate to come along, telling her that I want some company, though it's more for her sake than mine. She needs a day to relax, especially after I made her spill her guts to me yesterday. She seemed okay when I texted her last night, but I still wanted to see her in person to make sure. And her response to being asked to join me was so damn cute. I pulled out my phone to let Kate know that I arrived, glancing over my last received text from her. "This sounds wonderful. I'll see you around 9, and I promise I won't be late this time. Smiley face, XOXO. Relief washes over me again and I smile. I hope those emojis are legit. Too much sad Kate is not a good thing. I'm about to type out a quick text, but there's no need. I can see Kate on a bench not too far from me, hands folded in her lap, staring out at the glittering ocean. I put my phone away again and start to walk quickly in her direction, not wanting to keep her waiting. She sees me out of the corner of her eye as I approach, smiling up at me. "Max, there you are." "Hey, Kate, sorry if I kept you waiting long." I rub the back of my neck sheepishly, thinking about the 3 times I hit the snooze button on my alarm this morning. Kate shrugs, nonchalant. She's quiet today. I hope I didn't upset her too much yesterday, bringing up all her problems. I reach forward and tentatively squeeze her shoulder. "How are you feeling?" Her eyes don't leave my face, but she seems to perk up at my touch. "Okay, I actually felt like playing my violin this morning. I haven't touched it in a week." I had noticed. Kate had stopped playing her violin in the mornings, right around the time she had started acting sad. I can't stop myself from smiling. "That's so great. I must have slept right through it, but I'm sure it was nice, as always." She looks away, suddenly shy. "Actually, I didn't get the chance. I was too, excited to be here." She looks back at me, her eyes bright. "With you." She says it with such a gentle voice that it makes my heart melt. I pretend to be distracted by a seagull milling around behind us, her sweetness giving me a momentary loss for words. "And of course I can't even show up on time. You could have been playing your violin instead of waiting for my lazy bones." Kate, not even remotely peeved, just laughs and rises to her feet. "It's fine, really. I can play later. Maybe you could even join me on your guitar." I nod immediately. Kate and I only played together once, but it's still one of my favorite memories with her. "Definitely. We're long overdue for a jam session." "Couldn't agree more." She looks so excited. I wonder if she's remembering it too. Kate looks over her shoulder at the shops ahead of us, then back to me. "Shall we go?" I nod, letting Kate lead the way. We stop at the camera shop first. Kate doesn't do a lot of browsing, hanging back to look at some cute lanyards while I pick out my film. As we exit, Kate and I wander for a little while. Kate remarks that she doesn't get out much, so a lot of the shops are new to her. If that's the case, I'm even happier that I invited her along. Even though the shops are pretty ordinary and shabby by most people's standards, Kate is really enjoying herself, her eyes wide with interest. We come across a shop filled with stuffed animals, and Kate actually pulls my arm over to look at them. It's a shame that more people never get to see this side of Kate, the side where she banters and acts silly just because they never get to know her. It makes me feel pretty special. Maybe that's just the effect Kate has on everyone. She's such a warm person after all. Or maybe there's more to it than that. More to me and Kate. A gentle tapping on my shoulder brings me back to reality. Kate stops us outside a small, sweet-smelling stand, surrounded by tables with big umbrellas attached. A small sign hangs on the front, advertising fresh tea and baked goods. It's been so long since we had one of our tea dates. I take in another whiff of the fragrant air coming from the stand, then look back over at Kate. Way too long. Want to stop here for a bit? We order our drinks and sit down at one of the small tables outside. The boardwalk's not very busy today, so there's not a lot of people watching to do. Kate and I practically have the whole place to ourselves. Still feeling adventurous, I opt to order the house blend. The spices emanating from it are powerful, and as I take a sip, my nose wrinkles. I let out a groan of surprise, and Kate grins at me from across the table, too nice to laugh at my misfortune, but I can see it on her face. That's really strong. How's your tea? It's good. I always get chamomile, because I'm boring. She says this with a smile, so I know it's not self-deprecating. It helps with my anxiety, too. I nod, a little concerned. You have that a lot? Kate arches an eyebrow. Max, I'm attending one of the most notable art schools in the state. There's so much pressure with that, you know? Not to mention homework and my strict family checking in on me. Kate's bluntness makes me grin. We both felt the stress. Blackwell does have a reputation, after all. Point taken. Maybe I should try drinking that stuff too. Kate takes a sip of her own tea, thoughtful. There's other teas for stress too. Passion flower, lavender, peppermint's good too, but a little too sweet for me. I glance up at the 3 empty packets of sugar surrounding my tea, then back up at Kate. I'm getting worse than Chloe these days. I don't think I'd have that problem. Kate actually giggles at that. No, I guess you wouldn't. You could try... She stops herself suddenly, looking down at her tea. After a pause, she notices my worried look and speaks again. Sorry, you must be bored of me talking by now. I feel like I've been rambling so much today. Just a little. It's not like Kate's bothering me. She could never. Just a little bit, but I don't mind. Kate looks away apologetically. Sorry, whenever I hang out with other people, they usually talk over me. It's different with you. I hope she doesn't think that's a bad thing. Kate deserves to be heard as much as anyone else. You're allowed to be the center of attention too, you know. Kate looks at me skeptically. I'd rather not be, honestly, but I appreciate the thought, Max. People get surprised when I actually have things to say. I guess I just don't stand out that much. I actually know exactly how you feel, Kate. She seems surprised at this statement. You do? But your photos are amazing, Max. Everyone knows you for them. Why do you think everyone was so eager to have you submit one for the contest? You really do have a gift, Max. I shift a little uncomfortably. I know everyone thinks so, but I don't see it sometimes. That doesn't make it untrue. You're just insecure. I smile at her knowingly. Kind of like you, huh? She pauses, suddenly very interested in the napkin under her disposable teacup. Maybe. I'm serious, Kate. Your drawings are awesome. Just as good as my photos. I lean forward, as if sharing a little inside joke with her. I still haven't erased that drawing you left on my room slate, just in case it's worth something one day. Kate had doodled a cute doe on my room slate a few days earlier, wearing a plaid shirt and a camera around its neck. An obvious caricature. Kate erupts into giggles at that. Okay, now you're being way too nice. I spent 2 minutes on that crap. Tops. I gasp dramatically, mock offended. How dare you, Kate Marsh? That doe is obviously adorable. Kate crosses her arms. Well, I did use you as an inspiration, so you could be biased. Kate, please, that is not the only reason. I shut up and take a sip from my tea, a sudden heat rushing to my cheeks. For some reason, the implication that Kate may think I'm adorable is making me trip up on my words. It better not be. I actually want to write children's books one day and do the illustrations, of course. So cute art is a must. I grin at the thought. That's perfect work for you, Kate. Kate beams back at me. I didn't have a lot of friends when I was younger, so I read a ton of picture books. They were a big comfort to me. I even kept some of them to read when I'm sad. Pretty childish, huh? No, it's cute. No, it's actually cute. My room back home is practically a museum to old kid stuff I've never thrown away. Plus, I still sleep with Captain, my stuffed bear. Kate laughed softly. That makes me feel better. I actually don't have any stuffed animals. Alice is enough for me. We keep talking until the remnants of our tea have long gone cold. I hadn't even realized that it was nearly 3 in the afternoon. As we're walking away from the small tea shop, I catch Kate smiling at me. Thanks for always listening to me, Max. You know, you don't have to thank me for that. Her fingers graze across my arm gently, getting my attention. I just feel like I can talk to you about anything. Not everyone cares about what the quiet Christian girl has to say. But you genuinely do. So thanks. Before I can respond, a voice in the distance distracts us. Someone is trying to get our attention, specifically Kate's. Oh, it's Stella. We haven't talked in forever. She looks at me questioningly. Do you care if I pop over and say hi? I practically push her in Stella's direction. You don't need my permission, jeez. I say it with a smile, happy that she feels socializing again. Okay, I'll be right back. I wave at her as she goes over to Stella. Stella was one of the only people to attend Kate's Bible groups. I'm glad Kate's reaching out to her friends again. They look caught up with their own conversation, so I look around for something to keep me occupied. There's a small gift shop immediately to my left. Maybe I should get something for Kate. She has had a shitty week after all. Okay, so if I remember this as well, cinnamon tea she's kind of neutral on. I think this stuffed rabbit, she actually is like, I've already got a rabbit, like I don't need the stuffed rabbit because she gets in like kind of a bad mood, but the picture book she really loves. Plus she was just saying she likes to read them when she feels bad, so. I managed to fit the gift perfectly in my bag, and just in time. Kate's waving me over to where Stella was a moment ago. With a spring in my step, I run over to join her. More than half the day has passed when Kate and I arrive back at school, but I barely notice it. I forgot how much I loved hanging out with Kate, and our tea dates, of course. I think she enjoyed herself, too. I've seen her smile more today than she has all week. She seems lighter, like there's a lot less on her mind. I hope whoever was bullying her has decided to back off. She mentioned someone had written something mean on her room slate. I checked it this morning while I was on my way out to find that it was swiped clean, thank God. It better stay that way. It's kind of chilly now, a steady breeze filling in the comfortable silence between me and Kate as we walk. She stops me when we reach the steps, putting her hand on my arm gently. Thanks again for letting me tag along, Max. She's swaying back and forth on her feet, her cheeks still rosy from her hot drinks hours ago. Always a pleasure. I pause, rubbing the back of my neck nervously. And, sorry I've been such a space case lately. I still can't help feeling a little guilty about not knowing what Kate was struggling. When you were staying in your room all the time, I thought something was up, but I just didn't say anything. I feel bad. Kate shakes her head almost immediately. Please don't, Max. It's not your job to check up on me all the time. I guess not. I trail off, still unsure. I just hated seeing Kate so sad. Hearing her talk about how hopeless and tired she felt was kind of scary. I don't want her to feel alone. I need to help myself, too, like you were telling me yesterday. Besides, I feel pretty good today, so don't worry about me. Kate moves forward and grabs both my hands, squeezing them gently. If anything, you can stress about the photo tomorrow. Not that you have any reason to. I grin, looking from our hands to Kate's face. What makes you so sure? Kate shrugs. I've never seen a picture of yours that wasn't pretty. Even my selfies? After a beat, Kate smiles and nods. Especially your selfies. Oh, that's good. The air around us suddenly feels warmer, and I look down at my bag for a distraction. I open my bag to inspect its contents. There's the film, my phone, my camera, and Kate's gift, still wrapped in the plastic gift store bag. I can't believe I almost forgot to give it to her. My brain is really fried lately. I look up at her slightly. You sure you're feeling alright today? She looks at me questioningly. I think so. Why? Well, I know you've had a hard week, so I may have gotten you something while we were out today. Just in case you're feeling sad. Surprise dawns on Kate's face, and she actually gasps a little, one hand moving to her mouth. You did not have to do that, Max. I'm fine, really. For a second, I worry that I've offended her somehow, but the small smile I can see under her hand tells me otherwise. But I wanted to. I stick my hand in the bag to grasp the gift, then smile back at Kate. Now, hold out your hands and don't peek. She obliges with a small giggle, obediently holding out a hand as her eyes gently flutter closed. I put the book in Kate's hand and watch as she carefully takes it out of the blue plastic. Her eyes widen in shock as she looks at the cover, turning it over to look at the back design as well. Admittedly, I hadn't looked at it too closely, but the cover sported a tiny cartoon cat holding a balloon. It looked adorable, just like Kate's art. The art reminded me of your drawing, so hopefully you'll like it too. Plus, I know these cheer you up, so I figured you can't have too many. You've already been a big, huge help with that. Big, huge. Why did I say that? Kate says this softly, maybe just to herself. Her eyes are still busy on the pages she's flipping through, her grin broadening as she does. Finally, she closes it and looks back up at me. Bless your soul, Max. This is adorable. She hugs the book against her chest, and the smile she gives me is absolutely angelic. I love it. I can tell she's sincere, as always. I can't stop my own grin from spreading across my face. Glad to hear it. Just then, the clouds, which had been blocking the sun for most of the afternoon, moved away from each other so that we could see the colors on the dusky sky. Kate smiles, having to shield her eyes a little as she looks at the strong glow of the sun. It's going to set soon. I could probably get some good shots. I wonder what Kate would say if I asked her to watch it with me. Well, I took pictures, of course. Would that be too weird? We are just friends, after all. Looks like the clouds are finally clearing. Still a little chilly, though. Maybe we should head back inside. Kate pulls out her phone and checks the time, her eyes widening in surprise. Wow, I guess it is a bit late. Time flies when you're having fun? She nods eagerly with a laugh, and the way the way light hits her face makes her look radiant. It certainly does, but now it's back to the real world. Her words remind me about what I wanted to ask her. I want to make sure nobody's giving her more grief. I reach out and touch Kate's shoulder gently. Maybe not just yet. I wanted to talk to you about something. About, the people who have been bullying you. She shrugs, like she's not used to people asking after her. I hope that's not the case. Oh, well, okay. You want to sit down somewhere? I nod, letting Kate lead the way. A thought occurs to me as I look to the horizon. You know, it's going to be a really pretty sunset. We should stay outside long enough to watch it. Kate smiles knowingly back at me. Itching to test out your new film? And to watch it with one of my best friends, what do you say? Kate seems to glow with pride at my words and nods. We sit on one of the benches outside the dorms, getting a good view of the sun dipping behind the trees. Another breeze shifts past us and Kate rubs her shoulders. Oh, it's getting chilly now. Oh, I am offering her my hoodie. I shrug the hoodie off my shoulders and offer it to Kate, who looks at me with surprise. Here you go. Are you sure you're not... Nah, it's fine. I lived in Seattle, remember? I'm used to the cold. She puts it on. It almost fits her, but the arms are a little too long, so she pulls them over her hands. It's pretty adorable. She turns back to me and smiles gratefully. You're sweet, Max. Thank you. I'm not sure if the goosebumps that go up my bare arms are entirely from the cold. So what's on your mind? I shift a little, thinking of my words. I don't want to bring up any bad memories for Kate, especially after she had such a nice time today. I just wanted to make sure you're okay, after what you told me. I hope I don't come off as too bossy. I don't mean to tell you how to run your life. I just don't want to see you get hurt anymore. After a pause, Kate, making sure I finished, she replies. That's really sweet of you, Max, but you don't have to apologize. I needed to hear what you said. She's not looking at me, playing with a loose thread on her shirt. This might surprise you, but I'm not as delicate as everyone thinks I am. Or at least I try not to be. I just forget sometimes, you know? When everyone sees you as this shy, scared little Christian girl, it's kind of hard to break away from that. Nobody understands that there's more to me. She looks back at me, a little anxiously. Do you, even? She seems so troubled. I want to grab her hand and apologize, tell her I'm sorry for bringing it up again. But it's too late now. Kate, you know I understand. What brought this on? You've been so nice to me, and I'm so happy that you picked me to help you with the contest. But I don't want to feel like you have to just because you feel bad for me. She looks away again, focusing on the rings on her fingers instead of me. I know I get sad sometimes, and it's not always easy for me to make friends. That's why I want to make sure the friendships that I actually do make are genuine. Do you understand, Max? I don't want anyone's pity. Okay. Oh, God. I'm going to go ahead and save scum this one, because I legitimately do not remember which is the good answer. However, I believe it's I'm your friend. I can't stop myself from interjecting. Kate's completely right about herself. There's more to her than what's on the surface, and I don't want her to think I'm one of those people who think otherwise. I'm your friend, Kate, and not just when you're sad. I love hanging out with you all the time. And what I said yesterday, I meant that too. I wouldn't have told you to be strong if I didn't think you had it in you. She still doesn't look up from her hand, so I put mine over it gently. She doesn't pull away, but the unexpected warmth makes her flinch. After a moment, she turns to look at me, breaking into a smile. I believe you. Just try not to worry so much, okay? You don't need to be protected all the time. Just knowing that I can come to you when I need it is enough for me. I realize I haven't been giving her enough credit. Kate looks so sure of herself right now, completely the opposite of yesterday. Could it really be that easy for her attitude to turn around, just like flipping a switch? I'm not sure. But I trust Kate, and hearing how steady she sounds takes a huge weight off my shoulders. Just don't be afraid to ask when you need help. I can always take a hint. Wait. I can't always take a hint. That made more sense. This makes her giggle a little, breaking the serious air completely. I know. Hey, that's the part where you're supposed to disagree. We're both laughing now. Shouldn't you be taking pictures right now? You're gonna miss your shot. Kate innocently gestures towards the setting sun. She's right. I shake my head at her before grabbing my camera out of my bag. Looks like you're off the hook. For now. The sun glares against the trees, making them look black and daunting. The tips of the leaves on the branches light up, giving them a fiery glow. This is my favorite time to take nature shots. The sunset makes the entire world light up. I catch Kate watching me while I take photos, a small smile on her face. I aim the camera in her direction, and she immediately ducks, suddenly shy. Come on, no, don't waste your film on me. Kate, a picture of you would not be a waste. I lower the camera from my face and meet her eyes. I'm the professional here, I know my stuff. Kate rolls her eyes good-naturedly. Later, okay? Just focus on your sunset for now. I'm a little disappointed, but I turn my camera back in the direction of the trees. Now Kate's watching it too, smiling and bunching the hoodie I gave her around her shoulders as another gust of wind blows. She seems to be happy I offered, at least. Satisfied with my work, I put my camera away, and Kate rises from the bench. I should get going now. Talk to you later? I nod, smiling. Sure, I'll text you. I told the hospital staff we'd be there around 2 tomorrow. You know what bus to take, right? Want to head there together? That way I won't be tempted to mash the snooze button too many times. She giggles, nodding. Sure, I'd like that. Whoop. I think that was supposed to be Kate. Oh well. She gives a small wave before heading back inside. I'm glad Kate seems excited for tomorrow. I know we're going to take a great photo together. After a quick dinner, I head back to my room. I was planning on catching up on schoolwork, but I'm too wired to focus. Anxiety about the contest photo is setting in, making me excited and nervous all at the same time. I wonder how Kate's feeling. I shove my science textbook to one side and pull out my phone. An incoming text lights up the screen as I do. Seems like I made off with your hoodie. Come by my room and pick it up tonight, if you want to, that is. As if I wouldn't want to. Sure, I actually felt like talking to you anyway. Is it okay if I come by now? Perfect. I can't tell if she's just excited to have people visiting her dorm room again, or just because it's me in particular. Either way, I'm glad she feels like being social again. I better head over to her room before it gets too late.